This is part 3. To see parts 1 and 2, go into the description or look at the pinned thing at the top. I hope you got them playing at the right time this time.
Yippee! Are going to spend some quality time together.
Boomerang! You do always come back!
Avatar has such a phenomenal cast of characters, but it's a little sad I only ever see 3 discussed. Zuko for his redemption, Iroh for just being a nice guy, and Azula for being so tragic yet evil. Why are they off in the Fire Nation? I've always been a Sokka guy though. His development in the series is not just extremely overlooked, but it rivals Zuko's. Sokka starts as both extremely cocky and extremely sexist to want to be leader of the gang. He would have loved Gaston, but slowly but surely, he gets ratioed by a girl, and realizes women are actually pretty rad. He also slowly humbles up, becoming a lot more rational, and fully earns being the idea guy of the group, who makes all their plans. You see, that's why the live-action version failed. It removed his sexism, and sexism is really important. He's also still a big goof, which shockingly never distracts from the heavier scenes. Add in him having easily the best romantic relationship in the whole series, but seriously, why is he the only couple where the two never broke up or argued, or one of them is literally Hitler? And while he starts rocky, just like a boomerang, he always comes back.
Water Tribe.
Reach for the sky.
You know, it's weird. As a kid, I was a huge Buzz Lightyear fan. He was a cool space guy. His design had my 2 favorite colors. I loved the show. He had all the best lines. Certified Buzzboy. But for reasons I can't pin down, and as the years go by, my friendship with Buzz died, and I entered a passionate and loving relationship with Woody. I know I was him for Halloween one year. Was that what started the shift? It can't be, because Toy Story was something that was always there. Woody is the best friend you can have, but not the best person, if that makes any sense. He can be super critical, sarcastic, and stuck in his own head more than that snake is stuck in his boot. But beneath his stuffing beats a truly courageous heart that will always put his friends above himself. Not to mention, as I grew up, I realized he's actually the funny one. Like the first film alone, he's just so unbelievably jerkish to everyone. Unlike the proposed rejected versions, never makes them unsympathetic and just makes them hilarious. Even if he is just a toy, Woody truly is the friend we all need inside us. That sounds wrong. Calm down, Woody. Where are your friends? Shut up, Buzz. I'll kill you.
Hello?
So we finally arrived at my favorite anime character, and easily the most obscure character on this list. I discussed Bochi in her own video. But even if I physically can't Google her without being covered up by a different character, which is also a really good show, please do not Jeff to kill me. Bochi is one of the big, just like me for real characters. Social anxiety! Trouble making friends! Autism! Not confirmed. What are you gonna do? Question me? You haven't seen the show, you grub! After only friending her in different classes, Bochi is tasked with befriending everyone in her class by the end of the school year, or they'll stop being friends. So she tackles this problem by panicking and wishing for God to strike her down. I can try, but I can't be stopped! This came at an important time in my life. I saw it right when I started being more active online, after years of not really having any particularly strong friendships. And seeing this silly little anime girl doing all of this, despite having all the problems, it really motivated me to try and make some friends in college. Then a few days later, the pandemic hit and killed that, but who cares? I put all this effort into a silly little side project I was working on, and tried to see if maybe I could make some friends online instead. I think it worked. I quite literally would not be here if it wasn't for this 12-episode slice of life anime no one has ever heard of. So even though Bochi was likely cancelled and will never see your friend again and will die in a ditch and your wife left you, I'll always be your friend.
Batman Fortnite.
series so far was harder to decide on for a rep than DC. I really hate that they're all in one continuity. If they weren't, Superman would certainly make this list as well. And I argued with myself for weeks so I could justify the Teen Titans version of Starfire on here in addition to Batman. But, still a DC property, just falls short. Even without that, I had to revalue my thoughts on Batman so many times, I questioned if I really should go Superman or Starfire. I mean, come on, Starfire would make such a great addition to the I am cursed pile. But no, Batman really does mean a lot to me. Even before I truly love superheroes, I like Batman. He's a bat, I like bats, easy math. But I was always fond of the various cartoons that he was in when I was a kid. Heck, even watched a lot of the '60s show. Nowadays, I realize Batman is one of the most misrepresented characters of all time. People are focusing too much on the dark and broody aspects of him. When really, what makes Batman so great is that he's the beacon of hope in the darkest city there is. He adopts more orphans than I'll adopt cats when they have the power. He may be a stick in the mud, but it's because he's seen the worst of humanity and wants to make sure no one else has to experience that. He'll ruin his own life just to ensure a happy tomorrow for the world. He'll sit with someone when they're passing, calm down a kid when they're scared. His cool appearance and gadgets are what hooked me, but what kept me coming back to the big bat signal in the sky isn't the bat, it's the man. Also, anyone who just says he beats up poor, mentally ill people are dummies. Here's a panel of him taking out an entire army of goons just by giving them a job. Truly, he's a hero we need and deserve.
I'm Batman.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Marvel has a lot of characters I love, hence why it has the most honorable mentions. But Spider-Man kept climbing to the top. I'm going with Stripe. We're taking to cook my favorite meal. Water, a single slice of untoasted bread, and vanilla ice cream. Even more than Batman, Spidey's been everything. A kid, an adult, a pure little being, an angsty anti-hero, the baby with bunch, the older mentor, a clone, a zombie, there's a dinosaur version of him. But despite all of that, one thing remains consistent. He can't be happy. And also that I love him no matter the form. Unlike Batman, who DC has bowed down to a lot of bad face interpretations a lot, Spider-Man's always been there for me. He's always quippy, he's got the cool gut powers and somewhat naive and cocky personality, but none of that matters. What Spider-Man always has is that he's just a great person. He's a hero, not because of fame or power, just because he knows it's right. If only there was a good way to put that somehow. I just can't think of a good way to put it. I prefer when he's just a friendly neighborhood hero. He could be fighting a superpowered evil demon man, and he will stop fighting helping grandma down the street. He can be silly, he can be serious, he will be divorced. But no matter what, he will always be there for you. And I'm arachnophobic, so if he's this high, you know he's got that good stuff. Some other characters bounce around a lot. St. Patrick, Plankton, heck, I'd be lying if I said I was not genuinely considering Larry the motherfucking lobster for this spot. But SpongeBob just makes sense for this slot. Obviously this box of cheese was my favorite show as a kid. And I saw the movie day one in theaters. I have this plus from around when the Jimmy Neutron ride opened first up in Universal. But none of that matters. Forget always there. SpongeBob wasn't hiding in the shadows. He was the walls. With me using the internet more and more, right around the time I stopped keeping up with the show, SpongeBob memes and scenes being shared around kept it on my mind. And thus, I think the funny square has been with me more than almost any other character. Not to mention the SpongeBob quotes are basically just a second language. At this point, I really think they could be taught in schools. Also, SpongeBob himself was the first character I really attached to. I saw a lot of my artistic traits in him, and nowadays, at least he's a lot more like me than I first thought. Even with the show not being in its prime, I'll never look down on the series. And I'm just so glad kids are able to grow up with this guy like I could. I mean, genuinely, I think SpongeBob's approach to every obstacle being with joy and optimism, and being genuinely kind even to his enemies, also the movie showing that it is okay to be a little silly and goofy while still being an adult, lived on to my overall worldview and made me a better person. Some people idolize and respect MLK, Gandhi, and Jesus. For me, it's the funny cartoon sponge who cannot committed both genocide and cannibalism at the same time. Oh, and memes. Memes really help him get him here.
Settle down. Take it easy. What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober!
Can't we just settle this over a pint?
No character has had a more interesting perception of evolution than Shrek does. As someone born in 1999, I was right there for the renaissance of Shrek. From propelling DreamWorks to being a juggernaut in animation, to irreversibly changing animated films to be a lot cruder, a trend carried on to this very day. Then Shrek 2 came out, and it was the second film I remember seeing in theaters. First was Finding Nemo, which was technically the first 4 films I saw in theaters, because I dragged my parents to that 3 times. Again, The Whip. And that was when you couldn't go to a store without seeing every food product lathered in Shrek's ooey gooey liquids. Then Shrek 3 came out, and no one liked it, and Shrek 4 came out, and no one saw it, and he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth for most people. I'm not most people. Shrek was consistently a major part of my life that never left it. I wish there was an easier way to put this that maybe like reference like a spin-off of this series, but I just can't think of anyone. Who cares? I didn't forget it, because it seemed like right when Shrek was starting to die in the public consciousness, Shrek memes shot up. Shrek became an overnight meme overlord. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing his beautiful smile and oversized eyebrows, and him assaulting kids. This was a different time, okay? I'm sorry. Shrek was really a different beast entirely from the original movie counterpart, and some people really got into Shrek memes. And by some people, I mean me. My personality was Shrek from high school to college. I physically could not speak without making Shrek references. I reconnected with some high school friends, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, you're the Shrek guy." I'm like, "No, I'm not. That's in the past. Funny Green Onion Man does not define me." But around the turn of the decade, whether it be nostalgia, people actually watching the funny All-Star movie and realizing how good it is, Shrek Phyllis is really good videos on the subject, or Tumblr of all places, people start realizing, oh hey, these films are actually genuinely really great. And a big part of that is Shrek himself. He's a shooting star that really breaks the mold. In a world of light-hearted and saccharine leads, he's the gross, ugly, rude, comfortably himself guy we really needed. But like, that's great. There's shockingly thematic depth in these films if you, say it with me, peel back the layers. He's the way he is because that's how society sees him. But sometimes you shouldn't change because the man wants you to. Be the best for yourself and your loved ones. Shrek has become a shockingly over-talked about series and character to the point where this is common knowledge. But I don't care. I'm glad there's a genuine love for this franchise. And with the overwhelming success of Last Wish, it's not going anywhere soon. Mostly because all ironic meaning are enough to Toy Story and Cars. A soul for a soul. But hey, at least it's all over now.
Squeeze the jelly from your eyes. Actually, it's quite good on toast.
Owl House has a wonderful selection of characters. They really make it hard as a fan to just pick one. From one of the most evil villains to Disney, to create and develop side characters, to amazing representation, and a fun main character, and son of a bird, just ace character. It's really the freaking ace character.
Actually, I'd like to try an experiment.
Okay, I take back what I said about Batman. This was the closest for me. And the one singular reason I'm not talking about King right now is my friend Gunn. Gunn. You motherfricker. This man basically gaslit me into putting Lilith on this list. So why is everyone consistently like a favorite Owl House character and my favorite? Inside jokes, mostly. I mean, she is just like me for real, but I don't know. I just talked to him a lot about her, mostly because of reasons, and she just kind of stuck. I mean, I do love her though. In the first season, Lilith was basically the main villain, responsible for cursing Ada and is the main enforcer of Belos' reign. Then she tried to make up for her misdeeds, and found out that, well, you know where this goes. Now that she's free from the Emperor's Coven, not only does she finally not have a forehead bigger than a football field, but she also has a really fun friendship with Hootie and a really sweet relationship with Luz as her cool aunt. Also, while they're cowards for not revealing her being arrogant in the show itself, I do appreciate it. Also, like, she for some reason has more outfits than any other character, and they all absolutely slay. Intimidating as a villain, a little scrunkly as a good guy, means a lot to me because me for real, only held back by being sadly underused as the show goes on. Huh. That kind of sounds like another character. Soon.
Is it my tools? Are they broken? Am I broken?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
So know how I said Splatoon overtook my life for the time? I know it'd be shocking for a guy with this PFP, but you can genuinely double that for Kid Icarus Uprising. All day at school, I was always playing this game. When I got home, I breezed through 3 to 5 chapters a day. I looked up any ranking videos or memes or fan art and got jump scared by so much Palutena porn, but I just absolutely love this game. All the characters are great, but Pit is one who really stuck with me. Thank God, considering that he's the main character. Okay, we have the fourth pillar of characters I like, it seems. Just a silly little guy main character who just wants to do good despite being beaten down. Came out 2012, started 2013. Welcome back, Pit. Pit's just a big dork. You think you might be a dork, but you simply adapted to the dorkiness. He was born into it, molded by it. He sings his own theme song, is super clumsy. Every single character in this game came together, had a meeting, went for sandwiches, and then all came to mutual agreement to constantly pick up Pit for literally everything. Despite all that, he's arguably the purest and most heroic character in Nintendo's library. He's always up to stop any threats just because it's the right thing to do. He even burns his own wings just trying to save Dark Pit. So he's someone to admire, but like, the entire cast is right. Laugh at the silly angel boy, for he makes the funny. Everyone's arguing who's funnier between Palutena and Hades, but truly, Pit is our real winner here. Also, I realize I love the look of angel wings, and I can track that aesthetic love back to him. I'm Christian, by the way, yet the silly angel game is what did that. I'm just really happy he's my favorite character in this game. I couldn't take it if it was Palutena.
Victory!
The things I do for love.
Schrodinger's cat. A philosophical thought experiment stating that you have the right to believe something is one of two things based on your limited knowledge. Courage is Schrodinger's cat, on if it's nostalgic for me or not. Was Humpty there? Kinda. I did watch it as a kid, and it stuck with me. But this is Courage we're talking about. You know exactly what stuck with me. Revisiting the show back in 2021 for my CN watch-through, God, I am so glad I did. This is definitely a show that holds more weight as an adult. So many shockingly deep themes are discussed in the show, where a pink dog turned to Godzilla once. I've discussed it in an old video, so I won't list them all off. But one thing stays true, and that's that Courage is a very good boy. He's the one that helps everyone through their problems. No matter how many times someone beats him over the head with a kitchen sink, Courage is a genuine role model for me. We all know that old crusty Facebook meme, Courage isn't being fearless, it's facing your fears despite it. And as mentioned, I am scared of everything. It's genuinely really helpful to see someone like that who can face his fears, yet still stay a big loser. Courage is funny, yes, that's his main purpose. But truly, what makes me love him is that, more than any other character on this list, I want to be him. He's capable of getting over any problem, from abusive owners to homophobia to evil common ducks, despite his massive drawbacks, with just ingenuity and determination. I also love to shatter the sun and survive blowing myself up, but that's secondary.
Kitty's gone, but she's left something behind.
I want you to think of the absolute worst character to pick to start the top 10 and multiply that by 3.
Show yourself, Pete! The tide has changed!
Yep!
What's the idea? Let that guy pick on you? That's my job! Pete's Clubhouse, Pete's Clubhouse, Pete's Clubhouse, Pete's Clubhouse, Pete's Clubhouse, Pete's Clubhouse.
This is not a meme. This is genuinely my favorite Mickeyverse character, which yes, does include DuckTales. And this is what I'm starting the top 10 with. You're too far to turn back, Frickers. Now, this is the ultimate always there. I'm looking back in my life, I keep realizing how consistent he is. I've liked a series of Disney figures containing Dalmatians. They're little Mickey-shaped collectibles. They mostly gone away since 2016, besides the occasional throwback. But it all started with this. Pete from the Villain set. I remember vividly I was doing a kids trivia challenge on a cruise once. The one question was who was the first recurring Disney character. I said Pete, because that's the correct answer. He got 3 years over Mickey and 2 over Oswald. I was so pissed when they refused to accept it and said it was Mickey. I loved House of Mouse, and despite it being a big crossover, I was always happy when I saw this big guy. He's one of only 4 characters on the list to canonically have sex, with the others being Lee's. And that's objectively funny. I love his voice. I was hunting down a plush for him for years before finally getting one. He appears enough in Disney productions that he can be a consistent part of my life, but not too much where he's overexposed. He's the only good thing about Kingdom Hearts. He's getting his own video next year when he turns 100. I am sorry he's this high.
Hi, Pete.
You know, I'm Girl, you phrased that so weird.
It's so weird to think that in a few months, we'll hit the 4th anniversary of me watching Adventure Time. It's easily one of the things I discuss the most here. Should be forgiven for thinking he has always been with me. But nope, watched it first in 2021. But the show immediately overtook my brain and never left. Wedged tightly in my melon, and I can't escape my brain going to dark, dark places. And my favorite character after watching it was definitely Ice King. Wait, I already made this joke. But Marceline was a close second. As my days went on, and I slowly became Adventure Time, Marceline took her rightful seat on the throne. I always liked her again, but despite being the most popular character on the show, is it possible I can call her underrated? She actually has a really great arc, going from the pure chaotic neutral, who clearly pranks Finn and Jake, just because, to generally becoming their friend while keeping her fun snarky side, her dealing with her father, the struggle of her being the last vampire, and if that's even a good thing, to finally becoming her own little silly gremlin. Oh, and the gay. The gay is super important. I think Marceline, even more than Simon, really helps with the rewatches. Knowing why she's isolated and her relationship with Simon, I'm picking up that there's definitely something between her and PB. All while she's still a little goblin, there's a reason that she's become so iconic even after all these years. Even though she sucks, I get it. Good thing I'm not wearing red. Ah, frick.
In little ways, when everything stays.
Love the found family trope.
The battle for Best Marcy was a close one, but just barely, Wu pulled through. Amphibia is rapidly becoming one of my favorite shows, and it's no shock that this silly is a big reason why. It's because I am Marcy Wu Amphibia 2019. I don't think it was intended, but seeing Marcy as freaking loser failure in school despite her smarts, really only having 2 friends, but mostly focused on gaming, trying her hardest to get her friends interested in her own interest, and I just kind of shut her off. Honestly, I saw myself in her. Seeing her open a portal to a magic world of giant monsters and trapping herself and her friends in it to escape a hard situation, not relatable. I didn't trap myself with them. Also, she's funny and all that. Mostly because she just really struck a chord with me. For all she goes from a quirky little strunkly to a genuinely tragic figure the world keeps kicking down, she fell down the flight of stairs right into my heart. Common Autism W.
Remember that game I tried to get you and Sasha to play, Creatures and Caverns? No. Well, it turns out newts are just like cephalons.
Unexpected. I mean, completely expected!
Nostalgia. That is it. There's no other reason here. Shrek and SpongeBob have reasons outside of the funny Puss in Boots gift to get this high. Doof does not. Similar to SpongeBob, Doof is a character that has always been relevant to me. For being my favorite character as a kid, to remaining relevant because of memes, but he's higher because why is he here? Like, objectively, SpongeBob should be higher. Shrek should be higher. Woody and Cynthia, and so many other nostalgia picks should be higher. There's really nothing that raises him above them. But I just can't justify putting him lower. Doof is the ultimate comfort character. No individual character do I quote more than this man. Things everyone knows to ones no one knows. Seriously, can someone make a gif of this clip?
Yeah, well, welcome to my life.
Please, Kay, thanks. I love his relationship with Perry being a really fun one-sided rivalry, and a relationship with Vanessa just being really wholesome despite his bad childhood. Also, his childhood is just freaking hilarious. I slip into his voice, I can't do a good impression. I start a lot of kind of conversations with, "You see, Perry Platypus," and whatnot. When I'm upset, I go listen to the Phineas and Ferb songs, a lot of which are his. Guys, I'm sorry, he has no deep reason why he's here. It's generally just nostalgia and he's funny. He didn't get me to stop smoking. He didn't save my marriage. He didn't bring my dad and the milk back. He's just funny. Curse you, Pale Platypus. Curse you.
So are we done? Cause I gotta pick up my kid from school.
1 second, just wait till it goes to black. Alright, now you can go.
You Claude!
Steven Universe is a very interesting series. I covered it in my video on it, but I have a lot more to say. That being, I didn't really watch cartoons when I started. Outside of very few exceptions. When I first heard the show, it was from the internet. You know, good things. So yeah, I avoided the show like a plague, never intended to ever watch it. But around late 2019, my then girlfriend asked me to watch it. You know how it be. So not only was it actually the first download to get me to like cartoons again, which seems to be doing well for me, but it led me to Paradox. Now, going in, I know she was popular, but I didn't know why. And like, she was a fine villain, she was cool, she was probably intimidating, at least until she got off-screen ratioed in the funny Undertale song. Then they killed her. Oh my god, guys, I get it, that's a really cool stone. But then they revived her, and, there's been 53 segments. I can reference Danny DeVito gift again, right? Oh my god, she's the snarkiest snark in all of Snark World. It shouldn't work for this cold, calculating villain. It's becoming a trash-talking shit of silly, but like, it's basically her domestication arc. Have her fully realize what Earth is, what the diamonds hid from her. It's easy to write her off as comic relief, but she actually got a really good depth that the franchise ignores. Again, the rain scene, and her finally putting her foot down against the diamonds are generally some of the best moments in the series. But also everything about her weird ways of speaking, from being overly formal to suddenly screaming, and the weird way she moves, she's like a little baby. Also, turns out I was wrong. She is actually canonically autistic as it seems. Join the club with Entrapped in Abed! And if we include honorary members, the rest of the list! Also, basically everyone I ever met has just said Peridot is just a green female me, so I have to like her. And even if the fanbase vehemently denies it, finding out she's ace, I don't think I've discovered more about myself than even Todd did. If I had a kin list, she'd be the top. You know, if I want to be cringe. And I have Pete in the top 10, so I very much do want to be cringe. There's only two things holding her back from the top 5. One is simply I just have deeper connections to the other 5. I wasn't joking, nostalgia really is a major factor on this list. And 2, she gets massively shelved in later seasons of the show. Heck, Future only gives her one notable role. Still, this green Dorito clouded up my brain, and I'll always report back in.
Guess we're already here. I guess we already know.
Get the picture?
So here's a fun fact. You remember that joke from the first part about 2040 coming early? It's actually a callback to a running joke I had starting in 2020, where I said I'd reach 1K in 20 years. And every year, every time I mentioned hitting 1K, the year went down. This started in Top 10 Chameleons, where I was referring to Randall. So at time I gave him the spotlight finally. So I was thinking my favorite movie of all time. I went into why and did an old video, so that means I have to include one character from it. And Randall has always held his chokehold on me. A weird, creepy, four-armed chokehold. So, Chameleons, favorite animal. I think that kind of came from him, honestly. Heck, I think my entire love of reptiles came from him. As a kid, my love of him mostly came from, well, he's a cool-looking lizard guy with invisibility. And I like that scene where he gets beaten up. As an adult, nothing has changed. He's still the coolest thing imaginable. But like, he's also a really great villain. Driven purely by envy, he'll do anything to one-up the guy who embarrassed him. Even that means he needs to mass torture babies. Like, I hear a lot of people kind of overlook that part of this guy. But again, it's easy to overlook him being a mass baby murderer. He's just so freaking cool. And nostalgia, of course. Ever since I could have coherent thoughts, I wanted a Randall plush. For over a decade, it haunted my Christmas list. Until finally, my mom found one on eBay. I think it's bootleg, but I still love him. His name is Jub Jab. Whether it's nostalgia or he just really stands the test of time, it doesn't matter. Randall will always be my favorite purple child murderer. This is for you, Squid. He will always stand as my favorite, kind of maybe if you switch it a little bit, Disney villain. And my favorite villain overall. At least until the next guy came around.
Do you hear that? It's the winds of change.
You made one fatal mistake. You messed with my family.
So it might be hard to believe, but there was a time where I didn't watch cartoons. It was like a year and a half. Listen, I watched Tough Puppy and realized nothing more could ever top it. Nothing really interests me. Until it was a little show I'd heard of. Gravity Falls. Apparently it had this ongoing mystery or whatever. I checked out some episodes and oh my god, this was it. This was the hook I needed. It's clever, it's funny, it's visually really appealing. But again, that mystery. That's what hooked me. What's Stan doing behind the vending machine? What's up with this weird time travel guy? Why do they frame the shot this way? And most importantly, what's that triangle guy in the intro? Again, this was when I was getting more involved in the internet. So I watched every theory video and read every analysis article I could possibly find to try and suss out what this triangle meant. It really felt like, at this point, nothing could pay this off well. Everyone had too high of expectation for it. So then, we're at the episode Dreamscapers. It turned out this big, all-powerful Triangle Man was actually just a plot device for Gideon. And also was an entertaining and powerful being in the world. This was before they really nailed down Bill's character, and Nerf to Bill is still the best episode of season 1. It somehow gave us the answer to who the Triangle Man was, but still left us asking questions. But season 2, oh god, season 2, we had a good break without Bill, and I thought we'd never see him again, honestly. Then Sock Opera happened. It was started as a standard episode, but when Bill's silhouette passed by, I thought I had my first big fan reaction. I squeed, I screamed, I soy-jacked. I think this gave me a bigger reaction than every Smash reveal combined. But this episode isn't just that. It shows us why Bill is this high. Again, I love villains that can balance humor and menace, and Bill, he's the perfected version of it. People like to make out as this goofy, fourth wall breaking, silly man, and I mean, that's there. But this episode really brings to the forefront what Bill truly is. Pure, utter, eldritch horror. Not just from his weird powers, but hurting himself just because he can. The way his voice changes all the time. Later episodes have him whipping up the strongest force in the series and just casually discuss child murder. This isn't a scary for a kid show thing. Bill truly marks a genuine horror. But also like, he's really funny. Some of the best scenes in the show come from him. And I know exactly when he should be a goober and when he should be terrifying. There's a reason why, despite him being, when you look at it, the least recurring character in his respective series of all characters on this list. Like, he only has like 6 episodes or so across 43. Yet somehow, he holds a complete unstopping effect on not just me, but the entire fandom. He's easily more iconic than the show at this point. As 100% deserved. Especially since Gravity Falls came out at the start of 2012. The start of middle school for me. And the worst 3 years of my life. I'll get more into it in the later segments. Middle school was a genuine massive drag on my mental state. And one of the things that kept me going, genuinely, was this show. Telling the cryptograms and urban legends, and again, I looked up anything I could about the weird Triangle Man. And then, I graduated middle school, hoping to leave it all behind. But early on in my first year of high school, Sock Opera dropped. I was never happier to see Satan.
Existence is upside down and I reign supreme! Welcome one and all to Weird Forgetting!
Oh! Yeah!
Because like most people I ask what they think my favorite character is, say Rosalina. She isn't, obviously, but this was super close. I think that does help boost her above Randall, Bill, and Peridot, because like, I have objectively bigger connections to them. I mean, being one of my first crushes is a major thing. Was only the second, first with Starfire. I think her being here is, well, I guess that's just to set the mood. You're 8-year-old Stripe. You got this new Wii and this new Mario Galaxy game. You know a bit about Mario, as when you play Mario Kart DS, which basically means you're an export, and you started off having a lot of fun, skipping around, Bowser kills all your friends. That's not fun. You're easily frightened for seeing Mario nearly freaking die is getting to you. Mom, please let me up, I'm scared. So you maneuver through this weird world that, to kid me, was unnerving, until finally, you meet this woman. This woman who's actually really sweet and kind and is always looking after you. Rosalina was just a comfort to kid me. She was always there, always cheering you on. But not in this big cheerleader way, in a cosmic, higher power, yet still a genuinely sweet way. That comforting presence that just feels like she's always behind you. Then the ending happened. I feel that she's basically a goddess and the strongest individual in Mario, who wasn't metaphorically looking over you, but literally always watching and guiding me. And that just felt like comforting. Since a lot of her scenes had her looking at the camera, constant mention to the higher plane, I kind of felt like she wasn't talking to Mario, but me. that this fictional character was genuinely saying to me, Stripe the Squid, full legal name, that she'll always be there to help guide me. I also thought double jumping was real, so I was kind of a dummy. Oh, and oh god, the storybook! The first time I cried at a game, it made this godly figure relatable. She is not a goddess. She's just a kind-hearted soul who wants to help, using everything she can. Then after finishing Galaxy, I played Mario Kart Wii. And because I played Galaxy, I was rewarded with Rosalina. That just felt so special to me. And she had such a cool design when on the bike. And the Luma just hanging around her, yeah, she's my favorite. I had Rosalina as a dark horse hope for Smash 4. She wouldn't make it. I never saw anyone request her, especially compared to the dozen other Mario characters who can get in, so I figured she wouldn't come. But when she did, you know, maybe she is always there, making my life better. Thank you, Rosalina. This is for you. Oh, and of course, reason she has to be here. She's the most looted character in Mario. Heck, the entire Smash roster. To the point where people suddenly erase her kind and cautious personality to just make her generic, flirty, kinky girl, and even change her appearance so heavily that she barely even looks like herself, to the point where I genuinely had at least 3 people just immediately think that I have a mommy kink and a giantess fetish, just because I like this children's video game character. The curse eats away at me constantly, and my suffering never ends. Scott Falco, if I ever see you in the streets, I'm punching you.
Rosalina fans are disgusting goomers, so anyone with the slightest bit of taste would pick Pauline.
You're a Pauline fan.
I didn't say that.
Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Rosalina.
There's a lot of characters in these videos, from the vilest of villains, to the most pure of heroes, to the greatest of champions, to the looniest of tunes. Iconic characters that shaped my childhood, to High Five Ghost. And this all led me to one question. A question I mulled it over ever since I first thought of this video. How did I justify putting Stitch number 2?
Nobody gets left behind.
Okay, I can do this. It's all built up to this. Obviously number 1 is the big one, but for years, Stitch has remained here, and I simply can't put my finger on why. I mean, for the last time, let's say it, always there. Lilo and Stitch was one of my favorite movies as a kid. It came out in 2002, so I was slowly starting to gain consciousness. So that always stuck with me. As did the show. I watched it constantly. And then I found out there was anime. I didn't know what anime was. It had more Stitch, so I had to watch that. If I saw a Stitch thing, I bought it. If I switched in the game, I'd play it. I had a Stitch hat. Remember the Valmation things? Yeah, I have every Stitch-related one, including the super rare one. I do a Stitch all the time despite my bad art skills. Parents didn't really understand video games or most cartoons, but they're Disney fans. So I love a Stitch was something I could be more vocal on, and it helped me grow my Stitch love. I just couldn't get enough of him. He's exactly what kid me wanted. The perfect blend of cute and cool. But now, I'm an adult. And when I look at the first movie, it's more than just a silly cool alien adventure. And see, God, this film holds up nearly flawlessly. Yeah, it's funny and gorgeous, but like, it hits way harder thematically than it should. Lilo's struggle with being seen as a weird one, a kid no one loves and is just a problem. This might be my first autism headcanon, maybe? But despite her quirks, she doesn't need to change. She just needs to find someone else weird like her. An outcast. Someone who can, well, stitch her back together. I wanted to stitch. I went through with friends faster than most people change clothes. But weirdly, one friend stuck with me. Funny blue koala alien. It's why I watched as much of him as I could. He really wasn't just some cartoon character. He was my friend. It's corny for a 24-year-old man to say that, but it's true. Stitch really taught me to accept myself. You don't change, you adapt. Stitch never left my mind. Ever. I think that makes sense. After all, Ohana means family. And family means no one gets left behind. Well, I'll mention time. I'm going to use that term very loosely because I have literally 140 characters on here. Again, I love a lot of characters. It's super easy getting to like a character. I've also, because it's been a while since part 1, I am going to do a full recap of all the characters from parts 1, 2, and 3. So, yeah, sit back and relax in horror as you realize that all these characters didn't make it, but High Five Ghost did. Number 140, Ka. Number 139, Mega Man. 138, Richie Toyser. 137, Ponyo. 136, Egon Spengler. 135, Sasha Browse. 134, Olimar. 133, Samus Aran. 132, The Grinch. 131, Mr. Rossetti. 130, Bruno Maltregal. 129, Percival King. 128, Ice Bear. 127, Pac-Man. 126, Snitchel. 125, Rebecca. 124, Cubie. 123, Rem. 122, Cheshire Cat. 121, Regan Ridley. 120, King Candy. 119, The Chameleon. 118, Violet Evergarden. 117, Doc Brown. 116, Doug. 115, Obito Achia. 114, Oogie Boogie. 113, Cece. 112, Joseph Joestar. Number 111, Toothless. Number 110, Elsa. Number 109, David Xantos. Number 108, Hank. Number 107, Popeye. 106, RD2. Number 105, Saul Goodman. Number 104, Terminator. Number 103, Dick Dastardly. Number 102, Godzilla. Number 101, Bing Bong. Number 100, Omni-Man. Number 99, Kiki. Number 98, Hollywood Number 97, Beetlejuice. Number 96, Maleficent. Number 95, Suyu Asui. Number 94, Asuka. Number 93, Churu Honda. Number 92, The Beast. Number 91, Mandark. Number 90, Buddy the Elf. Number 89, Michael. Number 88, Rango. Number 87, Rolf. Number 86, Rob. Number 85, Grim. Number 84, Genie. Number 83, Danny Phantom. Number 82, Discord. Number 81, Aaron Willie. Number 80, Vivi Argost. Number 70, Genia Jones. Number 78, No Face. Number 77, GLaDOS. Number 76, Ginkgo. Number 75, Tom. Number 74, Megamind. Number 73, Kronk. Number 72, Dr. Facilier. Number 71, Captain Hook. Number 70, Tamatoa. Number 69, Shigo. Number 7, L. Number 27, Hades. Number 66, Leorio Paladini. Number 65, Chika Fujiwara. Number 64, Satoru Gojo. Number 63, Saki K. Number 62, Father. Number 61, Scar. Number 60, Stripe. 59, Saitama. Number 58, Varian. Number 57, Mulan. Number 56, Gaston. Number 55, Ursula. Number 54, Wilt. Number 53, Zim. Number 52, High Five Ghost. Number 51, Ginny Wakeman. Number 50, Dendy. Number 49, Krona. Number 48, Kermit the Frog. Number 47, Snoopy. Number 46, Mifa. Number 45, Dr. Eggman. Number 44, Abed Nahir. Number 43, Wally. Number 42, Scooby-Doo. Number 41, Marvin the Martian. Number 40, Syndrome. Number 39, Core Sensei. Number 38, Alphonse Elric. Number 37, Your Forger. Number 36, Shigeru Kamiyama. Number 35, Aku. Number 33, Mojo Jojo. Number 33, Lake. Number 32, Plague Knight. Number 31, Mikey. Number 30, Callie. Number 29, Wander. Number 28, Palpatine. Number 27, Hilda. Number 26, Grandpa Max. Number 25, Lord Shen. Number 24, Todd Chavez. Number 23, Papyrus. Number 22, Cynthia. Number 21, Entrapta. Number 20, Sokka. Number 19, Woody. Number 18, Hitari Bochi. Number 17, Batman. Number 16, Spider-Man. Number 15, SpongeBob. Number 14, Shrek. Number 13, Lilith Clawthorne. Number 12, Pit. Number 11, Courage. Number 10, Pete. Number 9, Marceline. Number 8, Marcy Wu. Number 7, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Number 6, Peridot. Number 5, Randall Boggs. Number 4, Bill Cipher. Number 3, Rosalina. And number 2, Stitch.
You're vile, you're foul, you're flawed!
Oh, so cute and fluffy!
And of course, it all ends with Kirby. This really shouldn't be a shock. Kirby is far and away my favorite franchise. Even if I don't talk about it nearly as much as I should, I still try to throw in at least one Kirby song per video, and make a video every year on its anniversary. Genuinely, if the one per franchise rule didn't exist, Kirby would make up at least half the top 20. But I only pick one, which is hard. The main character himself, of course, means a lot to me. Everyone here does. Even the most minor characters, but I can only pick one. Please hear me out with picking this one as my favorite. I can't explain. I feel like I could just pick Kirby and everyone would get why. Same with Meta Knight and Deity. Picking one of participation trophies where a character is my favorite though, well, that requires heavy justification. My love of Banana D was simple at first. I saw him Superstar Ultra and thought, hey, it's cool to give a random Milk a personality. Makes him stand out a little more with a banana. And it's cool to have him have his genuine bond and loyalty to Deity. Going out and buying him time for its own accord, despite him being more pathetic in my romantic life. Then I played Return to Dreamland. And hey, he's playable now and friends with Kirby. That's fun. Then, one day, some friends and I were discussing characters we wanted in Smash, and I threw out Bandana D. This is genuinely one of the most important things I've ever said. I bought a Waddle Dee plush as my first ever piece of curry merch. I doodled bandana and Waddle Dees all the time. People knew me as a curry guy, assuming they didn't know me as a weird annoying loser. We'll get to it. And I looked up any piece of bandana Dee, anything. From fan art to YouTube videos to chat rooms like Smashboards. It's also the first ever Discord server I joined, back in 2018. I was a pretty close-up person back then. For reference, I didn't even actively use this channel. I had a few school projects, but I didn't even comment on videos or anything. It helped me be more open about myself. It was the first time I really put myself out there. Which led me to joining a lot more servers, meeting with some of my closest friends, and widening my horizons, and becoming a lot more active and confident. All this because of this silly video game character. But then, there's the big reason. If you thought I was sappy during Rosalina and Stitch's segment, well, take out your pancakes, we're getting even sappier. For reasons too personal to say, I had the worst day of my life one day in middle school. Again, too personal. Let's just say a bully went too far, and that's on top of constant bullying outside of this moment, my own teachers hating me, loneliness, so on. This was my breaking point. But when I was sitting there, just completely broken, my mom decided to get me Curry Triple Deluxe as a way to cheer me up. So I played it, got to the second level, I saw Bandana Dee throwing a little crystal star with some help items at me, before waving happily. And it broke me. Listen, man, my mental state was fragile back then. I felt so alone. And this stupid freaking 3D model NPC eating tomato at my face was just a little support that I needed. Just the sign to say that, you know, I need friends. I do have support. Yes, I am fully aware how cheesy this is. I know this is a really dumb reason to put this character at the top. But again, I was super broken back then. I just needed that tiny little push to help me. And the push was Banana Waddle Dee. And ever since then, Banana Dee just became essential to me. The first thing I bring up to most people is I love Banana Dee. He's the most wanted Smash character. He's just a little guy. I love him. This list changed a lot in the time it took me to make this. In a year, it'll look different. Even making this, I'm like, why is Varied here? I'm not going to change the list because I already edited this video, but like, well, why is he here? But I know some things will stay the same. For one, he will be number 10. He has not budged a bit. Characters have risen above him and dropped below him. Every single slot has changed. But ever since I first drafted my favorite character list back in 2020, he was main number 10. You can't ship a Cepheus this motherfricker, because at the end of the ship is the same. The end of it is Pete Disney. And number 2, my favorite character has been, and always will be, Bandana Waddle Dee. So, that's my list. To me, favorite characters are one of the best ways to understand who someone is as a person. It says a lot why character is your favorite. Maybe they helped you through a hard time, or inspired you. Or maybe they're from your favorite series, or really well written, or simply really cool. Maybe you love their design, or you're just really quirky, or just some combination of the above. If you had to boil down my list to just one word, it's probably discomfort. Comfort characters is kind of a popular term for a small handful of characters that make you happy. That's my entire list. I mean, you can make some observations of me based off this. Like, yes, I am autistic and ace. How could you tell? But also, I just like characters that make me happy. In some way, these all do. Even if the most vile of villains. I love either because they're entertaining, from my childhood, or I get satisfaction when they fail. Characters written off as horny bait, to me, can just mean characters who inspire me, or a hand on my shoulder guiding me. A lot of the characters are super simple, I won't lie, but their utter simplicity to me just makes them more special. It's a little shocking, and kind of sad, how many of these are made for kids. I wish I could just say, well, because nostalgia, but so many aren't from my childhood. I don't care. They make me happy. I love seeing them, and I'm not ashamed of any of them besides 5s. Well, that's my 1K special. My big end goal for this channel. Now what? Well, this channel is going nowhere. I still have both things I want to do and need to do. Also, expect a supercut for this video, with 5 additional intro AMV segments. 5 for the 5 runner-ups, and 2 for 2 characters that kind of deserve some special treatment. Next sub special? I don't know. Probably 5K or 10K. And obviously, top whatever favorite cartoons are the obvious choice. But like, I need to watch all the adult cartoons first. So if I do that, it depends on when I hit the goal. I don't know. Maybe it would make my old favorite video list. But I'm glad I had some success. Just some. I'm not getting inflated ahead. I couldn't. Yeah, the autism video blew up, sure. But then I released the cartoon commercial video immediately after, and I was really proud of it, and no one watched it. Also, I caught like 8 separate people lying to me to my face, saying they watched me. That's fun. And the internet is in a really weird place right now. So many OGs are leaving. Rooster Teeth just got nuked. Putting so many people and series in jeopardy. And YouTube in general just lacks the fun it seemed to have in the old days. Videos have to be either big and grand, with vague, clickbaity titles that have such high interest barrier no one can break through, or no effort to span out garbage made by content farms. It sucks, but the world goes on. I just want to have fun. I'm not here for popularity. Look at my channel, I'm not trying to emulate. I just want to have fun. And that's what this video is. Just wanting to have fun talking about my favorite characters. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. And thank you Charizard Garthicon, the beast that has no name, for giving me this fame and power.
Yes, my dedicated follower. Now, my sacrifice.
Yes, Master. The sacrifice is going quite well. You shouldn't have canceled the Snoopy ice cream.